I'm going to tell you about a crime against humanity that's happening right now in our nation, and no one cares. Last January, a Democratic congressman from Florida requested that documents from the Department of Health and Human Services be provided to the House Judiciary Committee. When the documents finally were delivered, they were unmarked and they were buried between huge stacks of paperwork. The records showed that 4,500 complaints had been filed of sexual misconduct on children in U.S. custody. These are children that were taken away. These are the same children that were taken away from their parents at the border, immediately separated from their mom and dad, and the parents weren't given notice. They had no clue when they would return. The complaints spiked when Trump decided to implement a zero-tolerance policy for asylum seekers at the border. Keep in mind, we're at a 40-year low for people trying to get into our country and seek asylum. 40-year low. Shouldn't we be protecting the most vulnerable humans that come into our nation? I mean, whatever happened to with great power comes greater responsibility? How could this be happening in our nation? And no one cares. Trump's zero tolerance policy made it so that anyone crossing the border would be immediately considered a criminal and prosecuted automatically to the highest level possible. If they were traveling with children, their children were taken from them. This meant Trump could literally treat asylum seekers as if they were the murderers and rapists that he often spoke about in his campaign. These children walked 3,000 miles with their parents in order to escape violence and unlivable conditions in El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. 3 Central American countries that our American government helped and had a hand in destabilizing. This trip is so dangerous, one person every single day dies on the way. Can you imagine what it would take for you to feel so desperate that you had to leave your country and walk 3,000 miles with your children in order to guarantee their safety? Then the children were taken with such little supervision under government care, they were allowed to be sexually abused by older children and by the pedophile staff members. Let's be real here. Do you know what rape does to a child? What would it take to make you walk 3,000 miles for your child to, how would you like this? Forcibly taken away, don't know where they are, don't know when you're getting back, can't contact them, and they're not supervised, so they're sexually molested. It's disgusting. Parents, when they complained, they were told that they'll be deported. What would it take for you to leave your own nation and leave everything and walk 3,000 miles? Because that's what it took for these guys. The nightmare continues. Trump's policy to take terrified children away from their parents when that's all they have and they don't even speak the language is barbaric. The stories were beyond heartbreaking, and most recently, there's a new one added to it. Trump's decided that instead of getting the children back with their parents, he's going to send a lot of them to a nonprofit agency supported by Betsy DeVos, Trump's Secretary of Education. I promise you, they're making profits. Instead of giving the kids back to their parents, they're going to try to adopt them out from underneath their parents' arms. This agency of Betsy DeVos's has been under scrutiny for coercive adoption practices. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's shocking. The children were kidnapped from their parents, taken to a prison camp, sent off to places that they didn't even know where they didn't know where they were, basically. They couldn't guarantee the parents that they knew where their kid was, and then allowed to be raped and molested. Okay, what we're doing is disgusting. It's reminiscent of when white people used to enslave human beings who were Black and rape them and take their babies from rape and sell them to the highest bidder. It's disgusting. Doesn't it sound kind of racist, maybe like barbaric, maybe to you? Inhumane? Yeah, these little kids don't deserve this, and their parents don't either. Now, I want you to think about them as blonde and blue-eyed. You think this would be happening? Hell no, it wouldn't be, and you know it. This nation is racist as fuck, and it's disgusting. It's a crime against humanity, and I'm disgusted. It's just something I thought you should know about. If you like my videos, if you want to hear the real truth, and if you believe it is way past time for white Americans to take some racial responsibility, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and tell your friends. This is our country. Is this who we want to be? No, not.